the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight for the Extra Life 175 as OP Racing Grand National Series brings you race number 16 of a 22 race season, the final race to set the championship 16. My name is KR Stolfus, and in the booth with me is Mr. Extra Life himself, who has all the mushrooms. That is Peter deBorja. Peter, how you doing?
Pretty good. Let's not forget about the 30-some extra lives that'll be out there tonight. All these guys giving one fast repair. They're probably going to need it with the ARCA cars at Bumpy Daytona tonight. Going to be exciting. Can't wait to see how it turns out.
Well, they are out for qualifying right now. Just 3.5 minutes left to go in this qualifying session. And Peter, this Extra Life race is at a pivotal moment. One, it's going to be the last time you're in the booth with me because you have qualified for the championship 16. So I don't think you're going to give up another race to join me.
Hope not. Unless things go real south here over the next few weeks in the first round of the playoffs. But yeah, man, it's a big deal. The last race of the season, we got 16 spots up for grabs, and about 10 of them already decided. We'll see if a few others get decided here in the next couple minutes by some drivers just making their starts and locking themselves in. But we know for sure that there's going to be at least 4 that aren't locked in yet tonight. And some people will be going home a little bit sad. Some guys might be coming out of nowhere here. There's a couple drivers who are outside the playoff picture, but a win could steal the show and take another chair away from this musical chairs.
All right, Vicente Guerrero running the 6 here tonight, hugging that yellow line for his qualifying run. Anthony English in the 44 on top of the leaderboard. Daniel Holloway slots in the second. Holloway running a new paint scheme here tonight in that 21. We are in the ARCA car, so this is what the Cup Series had back in, I want to say, early 2000s, and it got the nickname the Twisted Sister. This is one of my favorite cars.
Yeah, and Daytona 2007-2008 range is about when this car expired, when the car tomorrow started popping up a little bit more. So it's only fitting that we're running it at the Classic Daytona as well. Lots of excitement here earlier in the season. We had this combination. We had a really tight battle for the stage with some drivers getting turned for the lead at the very end, and lots of 3 wide pushing and shoving, people worried about temps. It's going to be a great race.
Out on track right now, that is the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. Now, rumor has it, Crosby Jr. in the 33 didn't have enough confidence in himself to make a qualifying run. Has a substitute driver, but we're going to have to wait and see when that helmet comes off who is underneath that hood, so to speak. So with that being said, guys, we're going to step away for the national anthem. No one go anywhere. We'll be back with tonight's starting lineup.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the OP Racing Grand National Series as we are here at the Legacy Daytona for the Extra Life 175. Peter deBorja in the booth with me here tonight. And Peter, here in just a little bit, we're going to talk a little bit about the Extra Life and what all of that is. But for right now, let me go ahead and give you our starting lineup for this race here tonight. Anthony English in the 44 with that quick time at a 49.737 on the inside of row number 1. To his outside, the 88 of Gabe Butler. Butler locking himself in on points tonight. Daniel Holloway in the 21. Cody Nagels in the 46. Jeff Crosby Jr. in the 33. And Richard Kuhn in the 47 for row number 3. Row 4, the 04 Mark Mann, the 7 of Josh Milam. Row number 5 will be the 27 of Sean Stevens and the 12 of Zach Bridge. Row number 6, the 77 of David Booth and the 071 of Eric Laurie. Row 7, the 6 of Vicente Guerrero and the 510 of Richard Sanchez. Andy Regante in the 13, Zach Workman in the 19. That makes up row number 8. Row number 9, Duke Conrad and Travis Elliott. Row number 10 will be the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. and the 53 of Dave Hunt. Row number 11, Nate Warren and Harold Rothery. Row 12 will be Stanley Jr. and Wesley Hogue. And in our final spots here tonight, Ty Dowman and David Livingston. The final row here tonight, Andrew Schroeder and Adam Kilday.
Pretty good group we got here for a season finale. There's still a couple of spots to be decided here in the playoff points. We know that Eric Laurie, Sean Stevens, Jeff Crosby Sr., they're all right near the cut line. But don't forget about some of these other guys here. Dave Booth, Dan Harrington, Rick Sanchez, Len McNeese, Jimmy Reynolds not here tonight, sadly. But any of those guys come in and steal a win tonight, they are in the playoffs as well. And we are getting the green flag right now. Going to you here into turn 1, KR.
44 gets a good jump. Anthony English with his quick time pole position finds himself leading this field into turn number 1. Gabe Butler, as I mentioned, locking himself in on points. No one can catch him, so he's one of those guys, if he picks up a win, he steals that chance from someone further down the line because he is locked in right now.
Yep. A couple drivers also locking themselves in just now. Cody Nagels was making the start Anthony English by virtue of there not being enough drivers to knock him out on finishing top 28 tonight. He's going to be good to go. Richard Kuhn's going to be good to go. Nate Warren is just going to need a solid finish, and he's probably safe. If he has a bad night and the 27, 071, and 15 all have great nights, he could be in trouble. But the guys who are really feeling the heat tonight, the 27, the 071, the 15, one of those three is making it in. Possibly two of those three, but we know one of them, at least one of them's not. So those are going to be the guys to watch, especially during this stage. Stage points matter in this league. Lap 35 is when those get paid out. Typically speaking, I would expect the guys like David Booth, Rick Sanchez, Dan Harrington, those guys to ride around at the back, save the car, with the plan being then that they can go for the win, because that's going to be their only ticket to the playoffs.
We are on board with the 51 of Travis Elliott, as he is in that mellow yellow race car, tucked in behind the 510 of Mr. Sanchez. Fastest lap of the race going to Wesley Hogue right now, but that is going to change throughout the night because they're just getting warmed up, Peter. There's going to be a lot of racing to go, and from my experience high atop the booth here, I can say that you guys tend to turn your fastest laps after a pit stop.
Yeah, I mean, I expect it to really start to pick up a little bit as this race goes on. It's 1:21 local time. If things go according to plan, it'll probably be coming around mid-afternoon or so here, like 3 o'clock-ish, when we're hitting the checkers. That's when guys can be pushing the hardest and the track's going to be just a little bit cooler. I think that's probably going to be your fastest lap of the race. Everyone's being a little careful right now. You can see the bumps there. People are just kind of feeling with their cars and trying to figure out the handling, but also the pushing here. The ARCA car doesn't quite line up as great as some of the newer cars do on the server. So any kind of like little bit of too much of a bump there or too big of a push could really get the back wheels off the ground of the car you're pushing and send them for a real big ride. So you watch how the 44 really eases onto the 88 there on the bottom, and you got the 46 and 47 there on the outside. Just trying to be careful here. They don't want to cause anything big this early. They're just trying to discover what they can do and what they can't do in this car.
They work their way through the bumps. We ride on board with the 12 of Zach Fritch. Want to give a shout out to Alyssa, here to cheer for the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. Miss Mara chiming in as well. How you doing, Miss Mara? And Alan Fritch. Hey, Peter, don't get jealous, but Alan said hi to me and not to you, and that's because I'm his favorite.
Oh, okay.
And that's probably the only victory I'm going to have tonight.
All right, well, you got it, man.
So anyways, thank you very much, guys, for joining us and saying hello. As the 88
yeah, seriously. I heard recently, KR, they actually banned Turn 3 Motorsports from prisons because they said it was a violation of cruel and unusual punishment. So these people are voluntarily deciding to do this. That's pretty good.
It was not safe for the other prisoners.
No.
I don't even need to buy cigarettes.
They just give them to you if you file the request to stop talking.
Yep. We had one in trouble there. I couldn't quite make it out who it was. It looked like a silver and black car. Almost getting into the wall. They were sideways. And I do believe
Nate Warren just hit pit road. He's a little ways back there. It looks like Dude Conrad and David Livingston are about 3 seconds off the pack. That's going to fall a little bit quicker here. This could be trouble for Nate Warren. He's going to be likely the first car one lap down when he does lose a lap here, because that will happen shortly. He's going to really have to hope that everyone nails their pit stops, because if anyone in this group doesn't nail their green flag pit stop, and then they have a lucky dog situation, Nate could be battling uphill for the entirety of the race. And we mentioned before, his position's not locked. He's in a good playoff spot, but not a great playoff spot here. 23 points to the good coming in. If all those other guys get stage points, he could see himself on the outside looking in if everything goes wrong. So hopefully he's able to get himself back on track and find himself in the pack here shortly.
On board with the number
21, right?
Yeah.
Good
There's
job.
a couple 21s out there.
Oh, gotcha.
But we're on board with the 20, or we're on board. Wesley Hogue turned the fastest lap of the race once again. And so, yeah, these guys picking up the pace just a little bit. Lap 8 of 70. Peter, your final time in the booth this season up until you hit victory lane throughout the entire races for the championship playoffs and contention and all that. So when would you hit pit road?
In this car, if I can make it to lap 18, then that's probably what I'm going to pit. I don't think it's safe to go on 17 necessarily. If I can go 18, that's what I'm going to do for sure. I think 19 might even be a little more safer. It depends on my point situation. If I'm Rick Sanchez, or if I'm somebody who just absolutely needs a win no matter what, David Booth, someone like that, I'm rolling around at the back, and I'm pitting on 19 or 20 if my car can make it that far. I don't want to be pitting near anybody. I want my car to stay as pristine as possible, as the leaders put Nate Warren a lap down here. Just try to keep it off the wall, Nate. Protect the car as best you can. He's in it again. Oh, it comes down a little bit off the track there, but listen, he gets it under control. One thing that I thought was interesting there is that Nate Warren has a couple of teammates in his race tonight, right? He's running with Travis Elliott. He's running with Zach Workman. He's running with Jeff Crosby Jr. You know what all those guys are? They're all locked in already. What are they doing in this pack? Why didn't they short pit? Why aren't they working with that 9? What else are they trying to accomplish tonight? They're already going to the playoffs. So I hope Nate's able to get his lap back here, but if not, obviously whatever happened to him there, he's going to have some responsibility for, but come on, guys. Come on, be some team players here. Go help your boy out. Make sure he gets back in this race.
Well, as we look at the point standings, Nate Warren is 23 points to the good before the green flag dropped. And still right now, as long as you don't count the live running positions, there have been no points awarded. So 23 points to the good. He does have some buffer, but that's still cutting it close. He could end up last. Adam Kilday out on track. He was behind pit wall for a while, but came back out. So last place is still up for grabs.
23 points to the good is a little misleading, too. 23 points to the good is comparing yourself to Jeff Crosby Sr. What that doesn't account for is a David Booth win, a Rick Sanchez win, somebody like that coming in and stealing the race. Because then the cutoff is Eric Laurie, and that's only 18 points to Nate Warren. So if Eric Laurie and Sean Stevens continue running near the front like they qualified here, they're running just inside the top 15 here, and they're able to have a good pit stop and come out and get some stage points, that really turns up the heat on that 9 car. What he cannot afford to do is lose a second lap. If he loses a second lap, he is just praying for cautions the rest of the way and hoping that, he's going to be the beneficiary. But he's already fallen off the back of this pack now. He got a little bit in the wall there, and he seems to be falling behind Dune Conrad and David Livingston. It's going to be really tough sailing for him here. Hopefully he's able to connect, or, something's going to happen to save his race.
Absolutely. And fast lap. Now it was Vicente Guerrero that time around. It is now Harold Rothery at a 45.60. I cannot recall the last time I have seen this many new fast laps in a row in the opening 12 laps of the race. Peter, are these guys all laying it out there right now, or is this just a precursor to what's getting ready to happen?
It's a little bit of both, right? You got some guys in the back who are like, all right, the race has calmed down a little bit. I'm going to go try and advance my position here before we start doing green flag pit stops. So that means you can push a little bit harder to advance up there. You're going to have guys who are thinking to themselves, wait a second, this points thing doesn't matter to me. I'm going to zoom up through the field and pass a bunch of people, even if they didn't qualify well. And at the same time that's going on, you got, everyone feeling a little more comfortable with the bumps, a little bit less fuel on board, feeling that you can push a little bit better than you originally were before. So everything's changing a little bit here in favor of going a little bit faster than you were the lap before. And we'll see if that continues as the race goes on, or if people are really just starting to get super aggressive here trying to line themselves up for a pit, because you can see the gaps at the bottom, not so big, right? People are trying to not let some people down. Other guys are trying to come from way in the back all the way to the front. You see drivers like Wesley Hogue and Dave Hunt, who started in the 20s, that are now right here in the top 12, right? Andrew Schroeder's gone from 27th to 16th. Meanwhile, a driver like Mark Mann, as experienced as he is, locked into the points already, 7th down to 21st, right? So he's going to the back. He's just chilling. Zach Workman's now going to the back there. I don't know if he's planning on going all the way back to help Nate or not, but it looks to me like there's just some movers and shakers, and when that happens, the guys at the front, who are going to the front, usually set some really quick lap times.
I think Zach Workman is looking to put on rain tires sooner or later.
Hey, what makes you say that?
Well, I could say that there was talk about doing the races in the rain. And I could also mention a story going around about how Zach Workman likes to work in the rain. But then again, that's neither here nor there or true at all. iRacing releasing rain today is all I have. Or not today, but talking about it, been talking about it for the week and how it's been released. And I mentioned we should have rain tires and a super speedway rain race.
Well, that'd be something to see for sure. Maybe if it's available for, like an all-star race sort of deal. You could see these guys maybe try it out here. There's a lot of cars kind of coming together here towards the back of the pack. I don't know if you noticed, but Jeff Crosby Sr. has found David Livingston, who's found Dude Conrad, who's found Nate Warren. They're all running together now about 17, 18 seconds off the pack. That's huge for Nate, but he really, really wants a caution soon because if these guys don't have a good pit stop in front of him, they're going to end up stealing Lucky Dog spots from him. And it's up to Nate to make sure that he can stay as fast as he can, as long as he can. I'm sure he's going to be able to go a few extra laps because of that early pit stop, but I don't know how well it's going to help if these guys keep running so clean at the front. There's not a whole lot of pushing going on. Everyone's kind of being pretty careful. Only 3 cars on the outside, though. That might be a recipe for pushing a little bit too hard. You see that 20 car getting that 53 clear, he doesn't go down. All right, so what does that mean? Is the 20 car going to push harder the next time and hope that he can double clear? Or is his temps a little bit too high? These are all things that could happen that could end up being a push that's a little bit too big. That could turn this ARC car around as we have a lot of cars hitting pit road here, headed towards the cone, almost there. Wow, what a save there by the 47.
Zach Fritsch and Josh Milam hit pit road the lap before. Josh Milam got slapped with a speeding penalty. So that is going to be a heavy detriment to his race. But good news, it's very early in this race. He will join Nate Warren as 1 lap down.
As
Nate Warren has the advantage.
Right now, he just passed him, but how many laps of fuel does Nate Warren have left? Because he will be handing over this Lucky Dog back to the 7 car shortly if he can't stay out here before caution. So we got trouble in turn 3. The 77 around, one of our playoff contenders. And the yellow flag is out just as Dave Hunt and a few others hit pit road.
They are all on pit road, and I believe it will be as it was closed.
And it's unlikely to get a pit road clear just because they were slowed down and decided to go down there.
Yeah, quite a few are driving through, and some are going to go ahead and hit pit road anyways. But I think there was a 2-car issue going on here.
I'll let you back it up to find it. I saw the 77 go.
Yeah, Jeff Crosby in the 33 lit the tires up coming off of pit road just moments before before the yellow flag really came out for the multi-car incident that involved, well, now I forgot who all it involved.
The 77?
Yes, thank you.
I got some interesting tidbits about that 33 spinning the tires there once we get a good replay of this. So I saw the 77 go around. Who did he get into there in the bottom?
Can't quite tell from this point of view. Let's see if we can't get...
Oh, it's a 33, isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's a different skull car? Looks like a cowboy on the hood of that thing.
Let's see here if we can't really get a good look at what happened to the 77 off the nose of the 04 marked man.
Ah, that's what it is.
Okay. And all of my timing and scoring is moving because everyone is on and off of pit road. So give me just a minute so I can click the right thing. Okay. The 48 and the 77 make hard
that's
contact.
I saw a green car with that Well, that is definitely not the cowboy that in question on the hood of that thing. Man, those two guys just seem to find themselves bad luck time and time again. I don't know if he got bit by the apron here or a big pit checkup, and yep, looks like the 48 just got into the 77 for a checkup there. Gave him a couple more bumps there for good measure. Just one of those pit entry deals there where guys are checking up a little bit early, and the last guy in line just not able to avoid it.
All right, so with all that going on, our 19 is the race leader, Zach Workman. The 51 of Travis Elliott, trapped between the leader and the pace car. He is on the lead lap, so he will get the wave around. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Green flag is back out once again, ladies and gentlemen, here in the Extra Life 175. As the 19 of Zach Workman pulls ahead and sends it off into turn number one. In the booth with me here tonight is none other than Peter deBorja. And Peter, this Extra Life 175, this is your race. What can you tell us about Extra Life?
Well, you know, it's an incredible charity that has I've been a part of. This is my 4th year running it. I'm gonna say 6 years in my profile because I created an account just to donate to it privately a couple of times. But Extra Life is a charity. It's out there, a nonprofit run by the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. That family of hospitals there basically partners up with a bunch of gamers out there, with the plans being that every November they do a 24-hour stream to raise a bunch of money to help sick kids around the world. You can do a bunch of mini events and mini streams all through the year if you'd like to, and that's what I like to take part in. I like to funnel all the money that I generate through my hobby of iRacing and painting cars for people back towards it as well. Me, my hobbies are supposed to cost me money, not make me money, so I'm always excited to try and help out with that. But yeah, it's raised over, I believe $10 million now is the number, based on just all the gamers that have been able to donate over the years. Game day this year is November 4th, 2023. It's nice. Happens to be, I think, our last daylight savings time ever. So we get a nice a chance to go for 25 hours if you want to. But yeah, I typically do it anyway because I have you know, what else am I going to be doing from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. besides sleeping anyway? But yeah, the Extra Life community fundraises year-round to change kids' health, to change the future. Donations go to members, children's hospitals to fund critical life-saving treatments and healthcare services, along with innovative research, vital pediatric medical equipment, and child life services. Since its inception in 2008, Extra Life has raised over $100 million. I was way off. USD to change kids' health, to change the future. Right now, children's hospitals need your support. Be a hero and sign up today. You can always find it at extralife.org. You can check out the link that KR is putting in the YouTube chat to go to my particular channel. But it's just been a really big part of me. There is a Children's Miracle Network hospital about 15 minutes down the road that my mom worked at as a nurse for over a dozen years. So I'm looking forward to visiting them and, you know, just trying to figure out what are the things that my money is going to there. I'm happy to support Johns Hopkins because I live on the East Coast in Maryland. But if you're looking to participate and not just donate, but be a streamer for this as well and try and raise some money for the hospital near you, check out extralife.org, sign up today, and shoot me a message. I'll be happy to match a donation to my page back at your page to help out.
There you go. And like Peter said, that is down below in the broadcast description. I did test it out earlier, and it should work because it worked for me. If it don't work for you guys, and it goes into my pocket, that was not by design.
Yeah. If you have any trouble, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you or answer any questions if you're trying to set it up as well. I know we got a tough battle here for the lead, but I did want to do some housekeeping on the standings here, as it might have gotten lost in the sauce. Nate Warren was able to get his lap back, courtesy of the Lucky Dog. He's hanging out towards the back with Cody Neagles and Vicente Guerrero, just chilling there, barely attached to the pack. I think Nate might have actually fallen off the pack here. I don't know if he's still suffering a little bit of damage from that contact with the wall earlier, or if he's just trying to play it super safe.
No, he's got some damage. That right front is the right front tire is meeting the air, and anytime that tire is meeting the air, it's not good.
Oh, for sure. I'm gonna go back and try and see exactly what happened to his car the first time it's in on pit road. We're under yellow.
We are under yellow, and there are a couple cars involved. Let's see. It looks like the 8. Going to get
I see some playoff contenders nearby here.
Yeah, the 8 gets out of shape.
Oh, the 41's blinking around him, and the 071 gets turned. That's one of our playoff guys to keep the car off the wall. Oh my goodness, right there in front. As he gets clipped in the front end there. I think that was the 77 driving by. That'd be a second.
I believe that was a 47.
No, 47, man. All these numbers in the ARCA cars.
Right? Everyone trying to be somebody that they're not.
Yeah. Well, the 47's always the 47, if that's who it was, for sure.
I will say that did look like it started with the 20 up ahead. Hard impact for the 20.
Making his first OP start tonight.
Let's see if we can go and figure out what happened to Wesley in this number 20. And gonna get hooked and turned by Brigante.
And the 17 looking like a 13, maybe not there. Up on the side, going for a ride, and then the 47 nowhere to go as the 071 came off the wall.
Well, good news for the 9. He wasn't in that wreck. He was far enough behind. That thing is crab legging bad. The 9.
Is it really crab legging, or is it just ARCA looking crab legging?
No, it's crab walking. Gee,
I'm trying to figure out here, based on his first incident, if he already used his fast repair or not.
No, I don't think he's used it. I think that's
so he's
why
just holding on to this here.
Do what?
Okay, so he's just holding on to it just because. All right, so he gets in the wall back here on lap 4. We didn't catch that on the broadcast, but I saw that a little bit. Loses a lot of speed there, loses a bunch of spots. Lap 5, as a result, decides to hit pit road. I think he takes his fast repair there on lap 5. He realizes, I don't have time to get all this optional fixed. I don't want to go a lap down. Takes his fast repair there, and then when the pack is passing him, that's when he gets up into the marbles there. Yeah, he took his fast repair just as he's exiting the pits on lap 6. And then when he was going lap down a little bit later, that's when he got in the wall and made it worse. So I think his fast repair is already done, because he got in the wall again on lap 7 or 8 here. When the pack was coming by, he's already down a fast repair. This is his car for the night. He's got to get the highest position possible and hope it's good enough to stay in the playoffs.
Wow, how about that? Having a rear end knocked sideways trying to drive that race car. He ain't giving up. I'll give him that. He's on pit road. They're going to try and hammer it out. But man,
that might also be it. Him taking the lucky dog last time around, he might not have just been able to get all his damage fixed.
Yeah, and the lucky dog this time around, I believe, went to Vicente.
All right, well,
No,
I mean, Nate's in the lead lap, so he should be okay. If he could just keep it in the lead lap, if we get enough yellows here, he'll probably be fine, to be honest. He's only got 8 or 9 more laps till we're going to be hitting another yellow for the end of the stage, so presumably, as long as he's not losing like 6 seconds a lap, he should be able to stay on the lead lap throughout the rest of stage 1. It's just going to matter of, is this a 25th place car? And if that's the case, what's going to happen to these guys he's battling? The 071 running into some trouble just there. That does work in Nate's favor a little bit. But, we do have some guys here in the front. Rick Sanchez is running 5th place right now. Sean Stevens running 4th place right now. That's a big deal. If Rick Sanchez is able to steal this win and Sean Stevens gets a good enough finish, who knows what's going to happen there.
David Overstreet on the pit box of the 46, chilling out with some of the Tilted Kilt girls. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the 46 being piloted tonight by Cody Nagels. Cody basically didn't have enough money to run his race here tonight, needed one more start. David Overstreet wanted to hang out with the girls of Tilted Kilt. Man, as much as I love racing, those Tilted Kilt girls, they're pretty good looking. I'd have a tough time making the call of whether I want to be in the seat of the race car or in the seat on top of the pit box next to a Tilted Kilt.
I have nothing to add to your statement here. I will just let your statement there resonate. Your opinions do not speak for that of the entire network or everyone in the booth.
I don't know. I think we'd all have a hard time with that choice.
I am happily married, and that's all I'm gonna add.
Ooh, going political, I see.
Yeah, political. You know me.
Making the smart choice with the wife.
All right. Who are you watching here? I'm watching this 9 car to see if that damage got fixed, if he can hang on or not. Because if not, he's basically a lock for last car in the lead lap, and he just needs as many cars to go a lap down as possible. I'm not really that excited about watching this front row, but look at that 27. Is he going to go get greedy here and try and win this stage? Or is he just going to be content with 3rd and 4th? He's got to see what's going on with the 9 car. He's got to see that the 071 was involved in that first incident. What's going to happen here with these guys? Is the 44 getting the 12 a little bit loose there? It's getting real dicey up here front.
Once again, we'll take a look at our point standings as they came into this race, and you can see why it's so important to gain those points that you can. Oh my, here we go. The 12 of Zach Fritsch has 2 wins to his credit, but man, that doesn't mean that he's going to slow down now.
I'm rooting for the 19, just because the 19 doesn't have a stage win yet. 12's already got a stage win. Nobody really deserves more than 1 stage win in a regular season. You get more than 1 stage win, something's wrong with you. You're just way too selfish. So I'm pulling for the 19 or the 44 or the 27.
Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our stage wins. Atop the chart.
Just absolute selfishness there. Like, there's no need for that.
None. The only one who's had more than 1 stage win is the driver of the 40 Extra Life Machine.
Didn't even have the guts to show up tonight.
Didn't even have the guts to show up.
Too scared of the ARCA cars here. No ways. We're 3 wide for the lead. The 44 getting shuffled to the middle. This bumpy place here, that could be trouble. Rotherty clips the apron, but he gets it back under control just in front of the 27. Oh, we got it. There it goes. Around. It's the 510. Big wreck at the front of the field.
And I am not sure who was out in front when that yellow flag came out, whether it was Anthony English, Harold Rothery, or Zach Fritsch.
Well, they're shaking it up right here. It looks like it might be the 44 just by looking where the 12 is, but let's see how they enter pit road.
All right, let's back this up just a little bit and see what happened. Going into turn number 1, we are on board with Richard
we can see that. Great. Good job. Is this what everyone has to watch on Monday nights too? Oh my gosh, what happened to this guy?
Well, he checked up and someone behind him didn't.
Oh man. last wreck, he felt like he was probably going a little too quick when he got in the 071. He's like, I'm going to slow it down extra tight this time, and then boom, he gets hit by from behind. All the 20s involved again as bad luck continues. We know he just took a quick repair for what happened to his car last time. Oh, and I don't think I've ever seen that, KR. Have you seen a car that was stopped get hit in the side by another car's side?
Yes.
Okay, well, there we go. I mean, that's about as gentle as you could probably have it. It looks like it's going to be the 12 car. You're going to have to interview this guy.
The 12 is
Alan's your best friend. He didn't say hi to me, so looks like the 12 car is going to be leading here as we enter pit road. Oh man, another big hit there.
Somehow the 510 was involved in this, smacked the wall hard, but straightened back out and hold on to it pretty well.
Yeah, for sure there. It looked like that was where the wreck was going to be. You know, same thing with the 19 there. He kind of got it back under control, and now they're fine. And everybody else has to live with their mistakes and aggression up the front. Typical super speedway fashion, right? The guys up front doing some dumb stuff, and it's the guys who are behind them that have to pay. That's pretty lame, right? Look at that. Look what's happening to these cars back here. They were just doing the right thing by slowing down, trying to avoid these doofuses in the front. Can't even wait till like 3 or 2 laps to go on the stage before they start riding into each other. Come on now.
All right, you said the 12 was first on the pit road?
That's what it looked like to me.
All right, that's a good sign that he is our stage winner. And, well, I don't know. I mean, that makes it his second stage win of the season.
That's why I think you do a great job interviewing him.
Kind of joins those greedy people.
Yeah, it's only doofuses who have multiple stage wins. It's blatantly selfish and just it's not even looking out for the rest of the league, to be honest. If you're winning more than one stage win in a regular season.
Yeah. And I think Peter deBorja has 3.
Yeah, we know.
Gabe Butler did win the race off of pit road, but Zach at 12. Well, listen, you win the race for the stage, and now you're sitting on pit road taking a nap. Do you need a chicken sandwich? What's going on?
Unfortunately, that's not the way things were supposed to go there. I didn't know Workman already had my inside on my mirror. It looked like it was still okay, but it looked like I wasn't. So yeah, I just squeezed a little bit. So
just a bunch of other cars that got damaged. You guys aren't too bad, right?
So, but we had to take some damage. We had to get some optional done, and we're gonna head back out. So, but fortunately, not the way that was supposed to go. But yeah, somehow we end up here for it.
Well, Zach, this 12 wins its second stage of this season. Still got quite a few to go before you catch another vehicle that has won all the other stages. So this 12, how's it feeling out there? You've been up front for most of this race.
It's been fast, been strong. Liking the lane switching that we've been doing around. You know, starting even. Seems like both lanes are pretty equal depending on who you has as a pusher. So been nice, been super fun. Been somewhat costly mistakes, you know, especially like that one. Like that shouldn't have happened, but it did, unfortunately. So I apologize to all the drivers in that one. But other than that, yeah, trying to help other teammates to try to get up there to see that they, you know, they can get into the playoffs. So that's the whole agenda for tonight.
You have any update on Nate Warren there? We saw he got in the wall a little bit earlier, then he got a little bit in the wall again and was falling off the pace there, and no teammates were going back to help him. I was like, man, Nate must have said something really mean to them in the team chat there, but I didn't know if he had used his fast repair early and was suffering. Looked like Crosby Sr. was up there towards the front at the end of the stage, but I'm not sure how that all shook out points-wise for him. Any updates on the guys that you guys are worried about?
Nate, I have no idea. In fact, I was been running with Josh. From the last time I checked, Nate was like 30 points above the cut line, so he should be okay, I'm thinking.
He's 23 to the good, and that's, you know, not really 23 if we get a surprise winner tonight, right? Like if Rick Sanchez wins or David Booth wins or something, then he's like only really like 17 or 18 to the good. So You know, we're watching that 27, we're watching that 071, but you guys are going back green. We're still talking to you. I'm sorry, man. We'll let you go.
No, you're good. I'm in the back anyways, behind, not near this pack, so. Yeah, and then it looks like Senior was, you know, going to get some stage points there, so I tried to. My whole agenda there was to pit. That way he'd get more points. And at first I went up there with Workman, so to see if I can double clear him, because the Senior was up top, and just didn't work out the way it was supposed to. And like I said, I wasn't able to get him clear, and ended up being a wreck fest.
Well, with that wreck and with Crosby's pit road exit, maybe this car isn't going to get picked in the first round of the playoffs after all. So looking forward to seeing how the rest of this race shakes out, man. Thanks for joining us. We'll throw you back down there.
Yep. See you guys.
All right, that is the driver of the 12, Zach Fritch. And Peter, I don't know where he was.
I got him.
Thank you very much. So Josh Milam in the 7 pushing hard on the 12. They got caught up to this field, and now they're going to use some of that momentum and cash it in and jump to the high side. Gabe Butler out in front. He took over that race lead, and he is now under attack from the 44 of Anthony English.
I'm going to step away for a second here, KR. I'm going to go down to some of the spotters booths there in the scoring towers and see if I can't get some stage results there for some updated championship points for you.
All right. Well, have at it. Don't fall down the stairs.
I'll be right here at the headset on, just text messaging away, trying to get all these numbers figured out for you. So holler at me if you need me.
Holler at him if I need him. I mean, I do need some popcorn.
Well, I can't provide that. I'm just trying to do math over here.
All right, back to the race. The 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. coming into tonight with a very solid walk into not only the playoffs, but trying to win the regular season championship. Came into this race 37 points to the good over Peter deBorja, who is in the booth with me. So that's number 33 that possibly could walk away with the regular season bonus points of winning that contention, especially with a solid run here tonight.
I told you I had a tidbit about him earlier. I forgot to give you. He has been gloating all year about how much he loves the ARCA car, how much fun it's been. If he wins the regular season championship, he's picking the ARCA car for sure. What did you notice right around that first caution tonight? What did you see that 33 doing? You see him spinning on pit road exit, just lighting up the tires?
I mean, I don't want to make anyone look bad.
Did two of his playoff contention teammates just cause a wreck at the front of the field?
Now you're getting into the iceberg conspiracy theories.
Oh, no, not conspiracy. I'm just saying that might scare him away from this car. Now it's just like, you know what? Maybe on second thought, this ARCA car isn't quite the reliable piece of machinery I thought it was. Maybe there's a reason they don't drive this thing anymore. So I'm wondering, this is the car that everyone had been expecting to see the first round of the playoffs. The regular season champion gets to pick it. They get to pick the 3 races that we have to drive in the round of 16. Jeff's got some thinking to do, and I'm wondering if that incident, these past 2 incidents really are going to weigh on his mind a little bit when he gets to pick what car to drive.
I don't think it will, because even though he had that spin, he's still in the top 5.
That's true, but I'm just saying, you know, it's going to come down to being consistent, and you do that in a playoff race, that could be the end of it.
All right, someone who does need a good run, that is the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. He is tucked in behind the 33. And I'll tell you what, if you need to have a good run, somebody who you copy, well, that's the 33, as he is leading the point standings.
Oh, for sure, but Jeff's good at every car that we drive, so I don't want to take away there from her. Oh, I'm sorry. They're both great, but in particular, Junior. So.
Well, I like Senior better.
I mean, I think everyone does. Anyone who does them. But, I don't think that's really much up for discussion here, but yeah, another yellow.
Caution flag back out once again.
Is that your hot dog wrapper? Did it blow out the window onto the track? Is that what this is for?
Not 100% sure. Adam Kilday very slow.
Well, that's not a nice thing to say about somebody.
Well, and we're going to figure out why, because there was several cars up into the wall just ahead of me.
Once again, our turn 3 camera crew just doing an awesome job, pressing the right buttons, and showing the right footage, making KR look silly up here.
I am very
Come on,
silly.
camera guys.
Not
Don't do
gonna
this
lie.
to KR.
On board with Nate Warren.
You guys think, oh, look at that. Right there at the bottom of 21. Oh, no, not to the 9.
This is not Nate Warren's race. I mean,
My goodness.
oh my
And
God.
if he's meatballed here, he's going to have some required. The ARC cars tend to do that a little bit faster than others. He's headed straight to pit road. We know he's out of fast repairs. Oh, my goodness. He must know that he can't make it all the way back around.
I mean, this is just super rough for the 9 of Nate Warren.
Oh, the 19 was in the wall beforehand. The 21 checked up. The 510 gets into him, and that's what sends it into the 9. So the 19 being in the wall caused that big accordion effect there, and it looked like the 510 just didn't get it slowed down in time, got right into the 21. So here come the leaders down pit road. Luckily, I don't see the 9 car here anymore, so it doesn't look like he's going to lose a lap.
Yeah, Nate Warren has gotten back out on the track, taking that penalty as pit road was closed, but I mean, you're already at the tail end of the field. That penalty don't hurt you.
No, definitely not there, especially if it had just a short amount of requireds like these cars sometimes do too. It might just have like 15, 20 seconds required. Then you still have a bunch of optional. You can drive around as fast as you can and try and get that fixed too.
All right, so Anthony English wins the race off of pit road. We are past the halfway point. We've already had our stage win go to Zach Fridge, the 44 of Anthony English. He has been one of our hot drivers here in the last 3 races. Kind of needing to lock himself in here tonight with a good run. If
I
he
think
can't
he's
get the
locked in
win
already. There was only 28 guys showing up, and then he got 8 stage points, and he's been leading laps. Anthony is in. He is. We'll see him next week with a playoff stripe on his spoiler.
Well, there you have it. So Anthony English locked in, but man, that doesn't mean he still doesn't want to win all the races.
No, of course not. 27 did himself some huge favors too, getting that car, that Navy Chevrolet, able to get that thing 4th place stage points there. That's huge right there on the bubble for him.
So lights should go out on the pace car this time around. I do want to mention David Livingston and Andrew Schroeder are out of this race. They have gone behind the wall. Their scorecard has been pulled. That gives us 26 cars in this race.
They still have scorecards.
It depends on what track you go to.
How about 2008 Daytona in the ARCA car? If you hopped into a time machine and came back here on March 29th, 2023. Think they got scorecards there?
I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere that they are still trying to do that. Yes. Yeah. I mean, like as a backup. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
For the most part, you got your timing loops, you got all that stuff now, and that's what they officially go off of. But it wouldn't surprise me to find out that they're still doing manual scorecards.
For sure.
Like I hope they are, just because that's you don't ever want to lose that ability to technology to do something manually, but at the same time you kind of want to lose that ability.
Oh yeah.
So one has to be the backup.
Yeah. All right. So after crunching some numbers here, there were these stage points. It looks to me, I had to guess. I'm assuming that they haven't led a lap yet, because I haven't seen the 27, 071, or 15 out front. That the cutoff is now 2 points difference. Eric Laurie 2 points to the good over Jeff Crosby Sr. at 396. Nate Warren still about 20 points to the good, which isn't great if you're running 25th and all these guys happen to finish top 5. But You know, if he can get a top 20 out of this, it looks like he'll probably be safe. There's not enough cars, I think, here that are going to really punish him too badly, but he's going to have to stay on the lead lap. If he falls a lap down, he is going to be in trouble. He's the tail end of this pack with some more damage. We're going to keep an eye on him. The 27, the 071, and 15. 3 drivers fighting for these last 2 spots.
The 33 out in front, the 15 looking for that very good run, finding himself into the top 5. He has gained 17 spots to be in that spot. And I'll tell you what, when that 15 wants to dig down and put up a good number, he finds a way to do it.
Oh yeah, and you saw the 12 car there almost get inside of him. Just to give you an update, I know we talked to the 12 after he won that stage earlier. He was running by himself with the 7 earlier. They've now combined. They're now working with Jeff and Nate. They're all there together. You know, that information being shared amongst all those teams there. There's not any team limits here on Wednesday nights. That is not even one of the biggest teams we have here right now. You got quite a few groups running 5 or 6 deep tonight. So, but we're going to look to see a little bit more communication, because those cars on the bottom there, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd on the bottom, all running together here, trying to make sure that they can escort that 15 to the playoffs.
26 laps to go. That means this race is starting to wind down. And the 44 of Anthony English, who has been running up front, qualified well. In fact, so well, he laid down the best lap time. And he has been one of those drivers who is bound and determined to win this race and has stayed up front the entire time. The 33 of Jeff Crosby, the 15 of Jeff Crosby. One's senior, one's junior. If you can't pick it out, then I can't be bothered.
Yeah, and look at them taking that 3 wide there. The 88 was, oh, they're going forward. Jeff Crosby Sr. involved. Oh my goodness. Anthony English split him up into Dude Conrad as well. Rick Sanchez, Josh Milam, Vicente Guerrero, Mark Mann, Wes Hogue, all of these guys getting involved. A lot of torn up ARCA cars there.
Several race cars finding trouble is about the only way I can say it.
It's just one of those runs, a little bit of a miscommunication there at the very front of the field, kind of like we saw there at the end of stage 1 between the 19 and the 12. Same little thing happened there, where guys I don't think realized they were about to be 3 or possibly 4 wide because they were making moves at the same time somebody else was. It really started there at the front with the 88, the 44, and the 15 all kind of getting together. I don't know if it was we were indecisive on what lane they were in, and oh man, a little contact there on the way around the track there between the 44 and the 19. I don't know if that was, well, listen, they're under yellow already when that happened.
All right, let's try and really break this down.
A couple seconds before this is. Man, a couple seconds before this would be perfect, because it looks like the 44 is already in the middle there of the 88 and the 15. I want to see how he got there. I want to see if the 15 jumped up too late or if the 44 tried to make a move. Yeah, it looks like the 15 just moved up after the 44 was already there, and there wasn't anything the 44 could do. He couldn't lift. He had been pushed over by the 7 at that point. 15 just went up a little bit late. And you can see, he knows, you know, that big accident there could have done a number to his car, and he gets to see that green and yellow 071 drive past him under yellow here. He knows that's a guy he's worried about points-wise. And let's just see it here. There's a 15. When he moves up, it's just a fraction of a second there, too. It doesn't look like he was committed quite to the second lane yet. One of those moves. We have an OP Racing Hall of Famer by the name of Derek Conley. I needed a Conley clear right there. That's when you aggressively shift lanes, so it is very, very clear on what your intentions were. Doing that gradual move like that was just, yeah.
Do you think he had enough contact from the 12 trying to bump draft that sent him up there? Because the 12 got to his back bumper.
I think he was trying not to get boxed in. I didn't even see if the 12 car would have been pushing him there. I think if anything, the 15 should have been trying to push the 33. I think he just wanted to slide up and control the middle, and the 44 thought, oh, he's just getting a little high. It's bumpy Daytona, so I'm going to hold the middle here and go around him, because I think the 15's in the bottom. When you're in lane 1.5, lane 1 nor lane 2 think that they have to leave room for you, and that's when it gets into trouble here. This place is tough enough to drive 3 wide, let alone 4.
All right, well, since we have been talking about the race, I've not been paying attention to YouTube chat. We have had David Overstreet check in, we've had Les Levy check in, and we have had a guy I work with check in. That is none other than TJ. How you doing, TJ? Thank you very much for stopping by and
Is that the
putting in
camera
your
guy
2
that's been
cents.
missing all of our shots?
Do what?
Is that the guy that's been pressing the wrong buttons and making you look bad and not showing good shots of the crashes in action?
I show good shots. It just takes a hot minute to get there.
I was trying to have you blame it on somebody else, KR. I wasn't sure if
I do
YouTube
have to
chat was
blame it
aware
on-
that you were the
I
one
will blame
controlling
it
the
on
cameras.
TJ.
Okay, well, you have to blame it on TJ, but you could just say the producer.
I'm blaming it on TJ. He's the producer.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, I work with him. He produced so much that he is now middle management.
Ah.
Yeah. He is
Interesting
now middle
situation here.
management.
As we take 1 to green, you saw the 15 there. It looks like he has stayed out. He is going to be joining right behind the 071. He wants that guy that he is battling to be right there in front of his hood, so he knows exactly where he is at all times. Meanwhile, Sean Stevens, the 27, he's a little bit more comfortable after those 7 stage points he got earlier. He topped off on fuel. So here we sit, you know, with how many laps to go? What are we
Eric
on right now?
Lawrence up there too. Don't forget him.
That's what I'm saying. He's got the 071 right in front of him. The 15 is going to be lined up right behind him. We're going to be at, what, 21 laps to go when we go green? That is right on the edge.
We are right on the edge, and
I like this play from Sean Stevens.
not only on the edge on fuel to make it to the end of this race, we're on the edge of points for several of these guys. Crosby Sr., Eric Lewis,
yeah.
Sean Stevens. Nate Warren has had a dismal race. He has been hit more times than he cares to count, and he is still trucking around out there.
Oh, yeah. Trucking around on the lead lap. All of his cautions and whatnot actually kind of helped him. He hasn't gone a lap down. He's probably gotten most of his optional fixed by now. As long as he gets a caution every 7 or 8 laps, he's going to stay on this lead lap just fine. He's not going to be around when the carnage occurs. But if these guys finish 13th, 12th, 11th, wherever they happen to be right now, and Nate finishes 25th, that's good enough. As you can see, Nate catching up to the field here in the second lane. He's probably the last car on the outside. He's going to catch them right when we go green.
Oh, he should have kept his foot in it. Kept his foot in it and jumped to the outside right at the start-finish line.
I think he realizes his car is junk. He doesn't want someone to follow him and start pushing him, and then all of a sudden he gets
Who cares? Take everything you can. It's the last
you want to
race.
save this car. You want to make. He's not that desperate. He doesn't have to win. He just needs to finish. He sees the 27 go by. He's just going to try and stay attached for as long as he can. Hope a yellow comes out after not too long, and he can just stay on the lead lap and keep doing what he's doing.
Kevin Nagel's chiming in for the first time. How you doing, Kevin? Thank you very much for stopping by. Kevin cheering for the 46 for the first time this season, but that's because his driver is in the 46. Cody Nagels working a deal with Checkered Flag Motorsports, and he is driving the 46 to get that final race that he needed to meet the minimum race requirements. And so there you go.
071 has stayed in the bottom here. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means he plans on pitting again and he doesn't think he has enough fuel. Oh, look at this car up top here. Brigante runs a little bit high. Cody peaks middle. If I was Eric, I would have jumped up in front of Travis Elliott when that gap was open because I want to make sure that I'm blocking whatever lane that 15 is in. Especially with that 12 car behind me. I know he's not interested in helping the 071's cause at all. I know he's trying to help the 15 as best he can. If I'm Eric Laurie, I'm thinking, how do I get to that same lane the 15 is in? And if he goes down, I want to come back down too. And this is where you need Gabe Butler, Dude Conrad, just more eyes and ears trying to help him out. There are a few cars back so they can see what Jeffrey Crosby Sr. is up to. But it looks like at this point, Eric's gotten close enough to the front of the field. He might not have an opportunity to jump high as the 15 starts to close the gap on him.
Dave Hunt's out in front right now.
Yeah, that's nice. Good for him.
If he wins this race, we still have a long way to go, but let's start talking hypothetically. If he wins this race, he does not meet the minimum race requirements.
By one start.
By one start. How much does it make everyone who could have won the race question everything they did in their life up to that point?
David Overstreet in chat earlier, he won a race earlier this season when he found out he wasn't going to be there. Eric Lurie hitting pit road. They are pitting here under green. Short pitting. Looks like the 88 and the 8 are following him as well. This is a team
Mark
call.
Man in trouble.
Guys, Mark Man in trouble. All right, so those 3 cars are going to be leaving with Eric Laurie. They are short pitting this as best they can. Now, the 15, he is a choice. Does he want to follow and pit next time by to stay as close as he can to the 071? Or does he want to gamble? Does he want to roll the dice? Does he feel the need that he needs to stay out, hope this gets a yellow or 2 in here, and he can just clutch it and save fuel? I know that was not the 15's strength a couple weeks ago. He was trying to save some fuel, forgot how to start the car again under yellow, got some people involved there. I don't know if he's practiced that, if that's something he's comfortable with, or if he's not comfortable with. We're going to see here coming off before more cars pit. It does not appear so. To me, that sounds like the 15 is going to try to make it. He might need a yellow, he might not, but he has got to be saving fuel here as best he can. He is now running a completely different race from the 071. Very exciting.
Side by side, Anthony English, 53 of Dave Hunt. They are sailing this off, and this is one of the reasons why I really like this track, and I really like this car, this combo. You see these guys wiggling hard throughout the entire corner. Everyone has to put their elbows up. Now the 6 of Vicente Guerrero all by himself up into the 3rd lane. He had all kinds of momentum down the backstretch. He is using that to his advantage to get out in front. And this could be Vicente Guerrero's race to win if someone else gets up there to help him.
Now, what do you do if you're the 15 now? Do you say, oh, good, there's a caution, I'm going to be able to make it? Do you immediately fall to the back of this pack? Or do you immediately try to get to the bottom and like, they're too racy up here, I don't want to be anywhere near this, maybe hit right now and hope the caution comes out immediately and I come out ahead of the 071. It looks to me like those guys, Eric and Gabe, they came out together. Mark obviously had his issue on pit road. He's a bit behind him there. Let's see how this shakes out here. Oh, Eric Laurie and Gabe Butler both with penalties. It looks like they're both a lap down. So Dude Conrad now the second to last car to lead lap. Nate Warren, the last car to lead lap. And Eric Laurie, the first car, 1 lap down. They're trying to keep him in the lucky dog spot. But that's dangerous too, because that means Gabe can't push him.
I'll tell you what, if Nate Warren makes it into the playoffs, and this race mattered, like this race was do or die, and he makes it in, we are looking at his race car right now. I have drank soda cans that were less damaged than what this car is.
Well, the good news for Eric Laurie and bad news for Nate Warren is that Eric Laurie's car looks perfectly fine. He's able to put down reasonable lap times here. He's got Gabe right behind him. He can't put the bumper to him because he doesn't want him to lose a lucky dog possibility. But they are running down this 9 car. It's going to take a while, but presumably Eric Laurie has the opportunity to be the last car to lead lap soon. Although David Booth and Dude Conrad about to go a lap down here too. Those are guys who are going to be battling for the lucky dog as well. It might keep the 9 and the 071 a lap down.
I will tell you, you asked, how do you play this? Well, for me, I'm going to play the cautions. I guarantee, or I shouldn't say I guarantee, my gamble is that we have at least 1 or 2 more cautions before this thing is all said and done. And so if I'm Jeff Crosby Sr., I want to be in the lead pack, but just far enough away from it that I can avoid the next caution.
Yeah, I want to be like 5 or 6 cars further back there, especially since, you know, some of the cars behind him have nothing to lose. They're going to be flooring it, or he doesn't have a rapport with them because they're new to the series and might not have run with Jeff before, as he runs a little bit on the apron there, but gets it under control. I don't think you want to be this close to the front. I know it seems like you want to be, but you know about Eric Laurie's speeding penalty now. You know that he's the 3rd car 1 lap down behind Dude Conrad and Nate Warren just now. Play it safe. Scale it back. You're not really racing the 27 right now. You're racing the 071. Like, just roll it back a little bit. You should be okay here. And you just got to hope that the 510 doesn't win this thing. Because if the 510 does and spoils this whole thing for everybody, it really doesn't matter what the 15 or 071 we're doing.
Yeah, if Sanchez wins, pulls himself up by the bootstraps, so to speak, he will knock out Laurie, Crosby Sr., maybe even Stevens if Crosby Sr. finds a way to survive and Stevens doesn't. Anything can happen still here. But if Sanchez wins this race, it puts all those guys in a very bad spot, including
David
Nate
Booth in
Warren.
the wall here. As he's getting lapped, he's brushing up against the wall here in turn 1 and 2. That's a big deal, especially for the guys who are also one lap down. As you mentioned, Dude Conrad, Eric Laurie, Gabe Butler, Nate Warren. Because now Booth is another car that's one lap down. But is he damaged enough where he might have to pit here? That might just hand it back over to Dude and Eric to get the lucky dog that way. I will say this about Richard Sanchez. He's teammates with one of the best fuel savers in the business in Anthony English. But the 53, the 7, or the 53, the 13, the 44, and the 33, those two guys, they're not saving fuel. The first two rows, they're either pushing really hard because they're the leaders, or they're pushing really hard because they're trying to stay attached to the leaders, like the guys in second. The third row is where the first guy starts saving fuel. So the 6 there of Vicente Guerrero, 5-10 of Rick Sanchez. Those are the guys who are first starting to save fuel. So if we're really, really close, if we think we are, those are going to be the first group of guys, I think, that can actually make it. As the 19 gets turned by the 18, and we're going around. He lifted a little bit there on the straightaway. I don't think Harold saw what was going on, and the 15's around.
Senior gathers it back in. We were on board when that caution came out. And I hate to say it, but I mean, the 15 was not where I told him to be.
Not only that, Booth had stayed out. Neither Dude Conrad, Eric Laurie, Gabe Butler, none of them got their lap back. That was the goal, was to get the 071 the lap back somehow, and that did not work because they lapped Dave Booth just before that caution came out there. Jeff Crosby Sr. here going to be cycling back. He looks like he's in about 18th place now after that ride, 17th place now. Oh man, I hope he doesn't have too much damage. Let's see how this shakes out, because it looks like Sean Stevens has put his stamp and maybe have stamped his ticket there. He's, you know, running 6th place. He got a bunch of stage points earlier. Everybody else seems to be fighting in this 15th to 25th battle.
Going to take a couple looks at this crash here. And it looks like the 19 and the 18 are going to be what triggers it.
The big checkup for the 19 there. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was trying to save fuel and shut off the motor and then struggled getting it back on, or if he just saw something he didn't like and lifted and the 18 just didn't see it. But it looked like, look how attached he is to the 510 and look how fast he comes off of him there. 19, I don't think had too much damage at all from that stage 1 ending incident there with the 12. But man, it just seemed to fall back real quickly. I don't know, you know, if there was something else going on with the 19 there. I don't know how anyone in that 18 would have been able to react that fast. The 15 hits pit road.
And he's not the only one to hit pit road. With 9 laps to go, we kind of have some split strategies here. The top 6 cars stay out, and this is what makes it very interesting. Top 6 cars stay out, and everyone else came down pit road. So what that means is the top 6, they are gambling on not having a green-white checkered attempt.
I mean, track position matters so much here. It seems like every time we go 3 wide, we're under yellow like 30 seconds later. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't know where the 510 is going to restart here, but I think that's going to be the car to watch. He's going to be one of the first guys to exit with good fuel in his car here. He seems to be in a pretty good spot to take advantage of this fuel situation if we do end up going to multiple yellows here towards the end of the race and having to go some extra laps. He knows he needs a win. He's going to be in front of the 27, who we also know is, you know, worried about points drastically. But all the guys in front of him, right? The 44, the 12, the 13, the 19, the 53, the 7, the 6, the 20. Those guys are all here just to win, too. None of them are worried about points whatsoever. So it might get really, really aggressive here towards the end. I'm hoping the 510 knows how to play it safe, because he's got way higher stakes than the cars immediately in front of him.
One thing that maybe you haven't noticed, Nate Warren in the 9, and a very, very long time on pit road, multiple laps down. As this race starts to wind down, Nate Warren losing more and more chances to get back on the lead lap, and quite possibly looking at a 26th or 25th place finish here tonight.
It's going to depend on what the other guys do. Without that many stage points given out, only the 27 got a ton of stage points. it would really need, I think he would need a top 5 from all the cars that matter. We're having an extended yellow here. Did someone park it on the track? What happened there?
NASCAR saw a water bottle on the track.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's helpful to the leaders. I mean, that's one extra lap under caution, one more they don't have to run under green. That extends the caution a little bit for them and means that's, you know, plays into their hands fuel strategy wise. He said that top 6 out there in good shape. I'm interested in what the 44 is going to do because he took the high side here, even though he was, you know, P1. He had his choice of lanes.
Sure.
He could have stayed at the bottom and had Zach Workman pushing him. He decided to go up top and have Josh Milam pushing him. He is a Monday teammate of Richard Sanchez. Richard Sanchez is going to be restarting 8th, 4th car on the outside. Is the 44 thinking about that at all? Is the 44 looking at that? Because we saw last week the 44 was in a position there to help the 510. And last week ended real crazy towards the end of the race there with all the pushing and shoving that we saw. Here's a chance. He's at the front. He's got his teammate back there. They're leading both strategies, right? They got the best car on the short fuel, and they got the best car on the long fuel. I want to see what those Vendetta Motorsports guys have up their sleeve and how they're going to play this out.
I don't know, but the nondescript iRacing pace car is doing another lap.
Yeah, that's they said before. They were at 1 to green, and it said, we're not going. So they're going one more time around here.
I am with Les Levy. Iceberg all over the place.
Yeah.
Iceberg everywhere.
Well, I can tell you this. This is the data that I have here. The caution was extended, but not by an admin. I can say that it was race control. So there was a stopped car somewhere that caused it. I don't know if it was someone getting out or someone had wrecked somewhere or someone had spun it on pit exit. We didn't seem to catch that with our cameras. So thanks, TJ, for that. But
damn it, TJ. I'll tell you what. I will backhand him tomorrow for everybody watching here, except for TJ. That one, I mean, obviously, it's not for you. It's because of you.
I didn't realize his name was TJ. I thought his name was like RK Fustoltz or something. I thought he was the camera
that's
guy.
my name. His is
RK.
TJ.
Oh.
Listen, mechanics ain't got time.
You're KR Stolfus. I thought it was a different guy. I thought it was RK.
Mechanics ain't got time for a long name. That's why we go by 2 letters.
If he's a Turn 3 Motorsports, does he have a cool rhyming name? You know,
he's
like
not
Move from the Booth and all those guys, and they all got. Do you even have one? Or are you high enough at Turn 3 to get a nickname yet like that?
Yeah.
Nice
They didn't like what I had. I had Storm and Stolfus, and they didn't like it.
Did you have a cool little caricature as well?
No, they didn't get one for me, and
Gotcha.
I didn't get one for me, so.
Wait a sec, the pace car figured out how to turn the hard left. We're finally going green. My God, this story's terrible.
Wait.
Thank God we got some racing. And the 12 does not get a good restart. 44 driving away. It's the 7 trying to let him up. What is that? How is the 7 so far off? Are they all damaged? What's going to happen here? Very interesting restart there. Not quite sure how that happened.
I have a feeling.
Flying on the bottom. And he's taking him 3. Look at this, man.
They are out of shape coming through turns 1 and 2 onto the back stretch. This is not settled quite yet.
All right, well, the 510 has made it through. The 44 can lift and let him down, or they can say, oh, the 20. First OP start already there. Finds himself at the bottom, coming here towards the win, and the 510 scraping the wall, trying to find his way back to the front.
All right, everyone gathers it in for the moment. We stay green. We're going to be 5 laps to go this time around. Holy cow, Travis Elliott trying to peek out to the outside.
Well, no one's pushing at the front, so I have a feeling he might actually be able to do it. The 19 finally approaching the 12, but the 21 nowhere near the 7. The 51 might just be able to side draft his way to the front by himself if nobody goes up there, but the 510 needs to get moving if that's what he's trying to do, is win this race.
I have a feeling the 51 of Travis Elliott is going to sneak up and win this race. He has positioned his car into the outside lane. He already has 1 win. He is locked into the next part of this season, being a playoff contender. Now, can someone join his party and have faith in him in the outside lane.
Well, they're 3 wide here in the middle of the pack, and look who's coming. The 071 and the 8. They're trying to get Eric Laurie into lucky dog contention here, but he's going to be right in the thick of the hurricane here. I don't know what's going on. I think the 8 should probably try to let his teammate by and see if they can get the 071 to the front of the down cars. I don't know if this is the right way around it, but man, it's getting exciting here as we come towards the end. Is 18 to 51 getting a little crazy there. Thought he was going to blink through him for a second. The third lane really coming in. 21. There goes Sanchez down through the infield.
Sanchez down to the inside. We are still green, and they slide up in front of the field. Still green because no contact was made. Now big contact. Oh my goodness, we were on board with Jeff Crosby Sr. watching all that go down.
And Eric Laurie got around Dude Conrad right there as soon as the yellow came out. He might be the lucky dog winner.
Holy cow. I need a minute. I need a minute.
This is insane. This is just wild.
I mean, it's almost like the people who need the points are doing everything they can, including taking out someone around them.
They're going to start accusing us of like staging everything here, right? This is just like professional wrestling at this point where we're just trying to make a 4-way tie for the playoff cutoff for more viewers. We're trying to double our viewers from like 7 to 14 next week, guys. So, stay tuned for the drama. But yeah, I mean, like if you're the 5'10 here, you get dumped down on the bottom. It looks like he tried to fit in the hole that had already closed up a little bit, gets sent down to the bottom. And I know it looks like that, hey, he just turned back up to the track, but that car's on ice the moment it hits the grass. You got nothing you can do. He gets into the wall. Luckily, doesn't get collected with anyone there, but that is not what happens to the cars behind him. Looks like once he gets in the Stanley Jr. here, they both end up losing the cars. It's too close to turn 3. They're not going to be able to gather it in time. And they slide up the track. Oh, wow, the 33 just scooting by there. And it looks like they're finally clear, but then Sanchez comes down the track and hits Stanley Jr. right around the 15. Wow, that is something crazy.
It's rough, man. Peter, have you ever been in a race car in real life?
Not really. Not a real race car. Like I've done a lot of like go-kart stuff before, and I've sat in cars that weren't moving, that were like parked and show cars sort of thing. But I've never actually been in a race car on a racetrack at the same time. I've been on a racetrack before, and I've been in a race car before, but not simultaneously.
Okay. Can I tell you that the decisions you make in the moments that are presented in front of your eyeballs can make or break a season?
Oh, yeah. For sure, man. I mean, you're talking to a guy who's been on playoff bubbles like so many times in OP. It's always been something I've been worried about, playoff edges and thinking about the tiniest little things and making it to the next round. I've been fortunate enough to be in enough of those situations and have them work in my favor here, but it's not without the stress of every tiny little decision thinking that it's going to completely make or break your whole season as a result. So Eric Laurie getting the lucky dog back in the lead lap, made the choice to go low there, got under his teammate, then the wreck happened, and wow, just right place, the right time. Being in the middle of the pack there, certainly seeming scary, but here he is. He's going to be restarting right here with Jeff Crosby Sr. What lane they choose could make their whole season, right? The 071s are defending series champion, and here he is fighting for his playoff life, and we haven't even started the playoffs yet.
All right, let's take a look at the 510. He had a split-second decision to make, and he tried to fill a hole, smacks the wall.
What do you think about this split-second decision right here to yank it to the left?
And that is not...
Oh, he towed when that happened, too. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize he had that much damage.
Right, and so what I think is he locked the brakes down, let go of the steering wheel, and hit the escape button on the race car.
You know, had he not hit the escape button, that caution might have kept him on the lead lap, because the yellow hadn't come out when he went through the grass, but it did come out after he turned the 41. I'm not sure if the 510 had a car in the pocket still. I don't know if that was a, you know, I'm a bit angry at the situation. That's my season going up in smoke. But if he had a car in the pocket still, you know, he could restart here and we could see a bunch of guys run out of gas, or a bunch of guys getting a big crash here, and he could still be up there at the end. I mean,
you know as well as
19.
I do, if you have a car in your pocket, your season's not up in smoke.
Oh yeah. But I don't know if his engine was already off, or that was just frustration. He didn't think he was going to make it back to the front. But man, he had a good run. He was right there near the front all night long, putting himself positioned there to have a chance at the win. Hey, what did you think about that last restart by that 7? He restarted behind the 44. The 44 went when they said go. As they're going now, if I'm the 44, I'm thinking, how do I get the 7 back for that nonsense? Laying back on me and taking me 3 wide immediately. 44 right here on the bottom. I bet he's going to be looking to split ASAP.
51 to the outside. Oh, Travis.
I'll tell you what, the 21 doesn't seem to care. He's driving out in the middle, there in the bottom.
Give me some of that 51. Oh, baby.
Oh, man, you know he's coming. He's going to side draft his way to the front. But this time, the high line's all hooked up. 19's all over the 7. They're basically trying to blow up the cars here as they come to the start-finish line. Not necessarily via crashing, but maybe by temperature. As you can see, there's no air getting to the hood of that 19. 12 leading the bottom here. He's won a few races lately. He's got a truck race and a city win. They're wrecking again in the back.
Yellow flag comes out. We're going to rack them and stack them again.
Wow. Wow. And the 15 and 071 sneak through. 27 looks like he's okay. 9 cars still rolling, so our playoff guys, looks like everybody but them got torn up in that.
All right. Gonna have to try and figure this one out here. On board with Ty Dowman. Ooh, and around he goes, but not before someone got shot into the air. Man, they are all over the place, and Richard Kuhn able to hold on to it.
A big hit for the 27 there.
Yep, solid contact.
He is down on the apron right now. I don't know if he's planning on pitting and going to the back, if that's his second car already. This is going to be green, white, checkered number 2. What I don't want to see is what we saw on Monday, where it just ends at a yellow immediately. Hopefully we actually get to see it play out here, or at least catch a white flag. Hate to see races end in a caution,
is here, Peter. If you want to talk to Liberty, now's your chance. Otherwise, I'm going to claim him as my favorite.
I can tell. I don't have YouTube chat up. I'm trying to watch your Discord video at the same time I'm watching the standings, at the same time I'm watching the stats, at the same time I'm watching the points.
Can't multitask.
What?
Hey, Gabe Butler back on the lead lap. You can't multitask.
Huge.
Keep up with me. Let's go.
All right. Liberty Fires, what's your question, bud?
No. What's his questions for the field?
Okay. He has questions for the field.
Yes.
Like what?
Oh, he's good.
Is Starry better than Sierra Mist? Is that what our question is tonight?
No. Liberty, if he wanted to, I would pay for a microphone. I would pay for whatever to get him here because he has all the information.
He does. And he doesn't need SDK or a separate camera guy.
No.
No.
No, he's better than both of us.
Yes, he is.
Combined.
All right, let's not go that far.
Okay.
All right, so it looks like Eric Laurie is going to be restarting 2 spots ahead of Jeffrey Crosby Sr. Do you remember how many points I said Eric Laurie was ahead of Jeffrey Crosby Sr.?
6?
No, 2.
I can only count to 6.
Well, lucky for you, there's not that many laps left. All right, so Gabe Butler restarting on the lead lap. He's on pit road right now. Looks like he's getting 4 fresh tires and fuel. He's going to be good for these last 2 laps and probably have the car that can grip the best. But as they stand right now, he's going to be trying to get to that back bumper of the 071 and keep him ahead of that 15. It's going to be crazy here these last couple laps, though. These guys are just outside of top 10. Sean Stevens came out of pit road here, it looks like, as well. Whole field looks a whole bit shaken up. Eric Laurie going to restart in 8th. Jeff Crosby just restarting 7th? Oh, okay. So I guess I just messed up there a little bit.
That's fine. Hey, Zach Fritsch and Josh Milam last on pit road on lap 48.
Yeah, they had a billion yellow laps in the extension. As soon as they got that extension, though, I think they're good. 22 laps? Yeah, that's a stretch. 22 laps with 8 laps of caution? Not so much of a stretch. I think they're going to be fine.
Ooh. That's a lot of laps.
And maybe in the B car. These cars don't use as much fuel, right?
Oh. Honestly, I think they are gambling on what happened Monday night. They are gambling on this goes green flag into turn 1, yellow flag comes out, that's the race. That's their gamble.
I would hate to see that happen with somebody randomly in the field. I'd rather that happen for this playoff battle. It seems that, you know, it's coming down to the wire. I'd hate to see that someone not involved in that situation kind of dictates the finish of our regular season that way, but we'll see how it all plays out here. I hope that we can finish this under green.
Absolutely. I would love to see this thing go the distance under green.
Oh, man.
I mean,
I'm getting word from some spotters there. They're thinking them leaders can't even make it a whole lap. That they are really, really, really gambling here.
Yeah. It is the Extra Life 175. How ironic would it be if the Extra Life came from an extra yellow? Trouble behind, as there was some stack up behind them.
Yellow, we're not out yellow yet. 071 way ahead of the 15. 15's got some serious damage.
Into the wall goes.
And they're
the
into
12.
the wall. The 071 squeaks by. That might be it. They're still green.
Still green because everyone dropped down to the inside and stayed straight. Josh Milam is your race leader. Vicente Guerrero in second place. This is a huge development as they make their way down the back stretch into turns 3 and 4. Here comes Eric Laurie. If he can pull off the upset.
He does. Oh no, and Josh runs out of gas. Right in front of Vicente. Eric to the lead, into the wall. And the yellow is out. Eric Laurie's gonna win the race and punch his playoff ticket.
Eric Laurie makes it in. Not only does Eric Laurie win this race, but holy cow, did he make it solidly into playoff contention.
I knew some of these guys were going to finish top 5. I knew Nate Warren was going to be worried about it. I didn't know one of them was going to win. Came out of nowhere 3 laps ago. We were hoping he'd get a lucky dog. Now he's going to be interviewed first by us. What a finish.
I'm going to be honest. It's going to take me a day to unpack this race. Like, everything that happened is absolutely insane. And I think Eric Laurie's out of fuel.
Oh no! Can he not make it to the end? He hasn't gotten the checkered flag yet. How is he out of fuel? He was the lucky dog. Is this the auto fuel?
Oh, he's waiting for the pace car.
Oh, he's waiting for the pace car. Okay, it's going to be close here. He does let the pace car by here. He's got to start going now. Go, go, go.
And he does it. He's out of fuel.
Oh my gosh.
Now he goes.
All right.
Oh, this is...
You got to fire up that car before the pace car gets there.
Oh.
Well, you know what? I don't think we're really worried about that. Eric didn't need the win. He's going to finish with a top 5 regardless of how they decide to shake that out. He drove past the pace car. I'm not getting a black flag on the monitor from him. It looks like he did everything by the book enough. He let the pace car by early enough. So I think he's going to be safe to make the playoffs. We're going to have to crunch the numbers to see what happened to the 9, see what happened to the 15, see what happened to the 27 here, because that was shaking out like crazy. I think the 27 is going to be safe with his stage points in his top 10. The 15, though, finishing last car in a lead lap here in 18th place. Not the finish he was looking for. But man, oh man, what a finish.
I have no idea who's won this race.
Well, I think we can bring the 071 in. We can talk about it with him and see what happens there. And what we know that he was the car that had the power at the end. Whether they give him the trophy or not, or they give it to Vicente, we'll make sure we get them both interviewed just in case.
He had to wait for the pace car.
Yeah, and then he had to start it up and then fly, and he had the power. I don't know if they're going to give it to him or not. He lost
almost 10 spots before he fired it back up.
But he got to the finish line in 4th, KR, right?
Yeah, because he fired it back up and stood on it.
Well, okay, but it's not illegal to stand on it. You can fly as fast as you
Under
want.
yellow it is.
No, it's not. You can pass.
Yes, it is.
What are you talking about?
It's a caution.
You catch the pace car under caution. That's your job. You follow the black box that says pass the such and such car. He passed the such and such car. All I know is that it's either the 6 or the 071, and we're scheduled to interview them both anyway. So let's bring them in. Let's let them talk. Let's let them argue. I don't care.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get the winner in here, whichever one they decide upon.
Oh my goodness, what a mess.
I think it's safe to say whether Eric Laurie finishes 1st or 4th, he's into the playoffs. But man, it's going to be close between the 15 and 9.
Well,
I think the 9's going to be okay. We'll see.
I mean, all right, Peter, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Take this moment to go and talk to the person in charge of this league.
We can do that. We'll figure that out.
And I'll cover for you.
All right.
Okay. So while Peter goes and does that, ladies and gentlemen, I will have to sit here and try and tell you there are so many people burning down their race cars as if they won to try and cover up whatever has happened. All right, so here's the issue. Under the rules of OP racing, you have to maintain your pace. You have to operate under your own speed. And we saw the leader who had passed the pace car not fire up and not get back into it.
Bring in the 6.
Do what?
Bring in the 6.
Bring in the 6. What?
Bring in the 6.
Oh.
Vicente Guerrero. You have to find him in this Discord app, and you find his name, and you drag him into the room here, Boomer. We can do this.
What?
There we go.
This guy?
Just like that. Yeah, that guy. Oh, Vicente, you cross the start-finish line first. It sounds like you're probably going to get the W here, which is kind of ironic given how your Monday race ended up here, man.
Right?
Wild finish there. I'm sure it was just how you drew it up. Great job, man.
Thanks, man.
Talk us through those last 5 laps. It was absolutely insane. Were you close on fuel? Did you know everybody else was that close on fuel? How did that play out for you?
Well, there was like maybe a couple caution flags right before. I think there was like 8 laps to go. And I told my teammates, I said, hey, you know what? I think we should take fuel because it might, you know, have a couple more cautions, and then people are gonna have to eventually pit, and we don't. So I knew that was gonna gain us some positions if that happened, which it did. And then here at this last lap here, I don't know what happened, but you know, on Monday I totally forgot to go into you know, to stay out on the track, and then I hit the damn cone, and iRacing told me to go back and catch my positions. I got up to back to 11th, and then today I don't know what happened exactly with Eric.
It looked to me like he just drove past the pace car, didn't want to get a black flag, and then couldn't refire it when you guys were all coming by, and then he did get refired, but just couldn't get back in time for P1, and that's, you know, that's on him. It looks like he's still going to be playoff bound regardless, but hey, man, 2nd win of the season. Great job by you there.
Yeah, thank you.
What's the deal with this 6 car? Why are we in this? What happened to the 14?
Well, we were running low on funds, so luckily Checker Flag Motorsports picked up Cody this weekend. I want to thank them, you know, for sure, for letting us have a ride this weekend. So, and also Ricky Bobby Foundation.
My goodness. Well, that's pretty wild, man.
I mean, so he let me borrow his car, his ride this week, so
Yeah.
it was good. It was good.
I can't believe Budweiser ran out of money. That's pretty good news because Zach Fritz is probably going to run him bankrupt anyway.
Well, they're running out of money because I quit drinking actually. So,
Oh,
so I was one of their,
man.
I was one of their, their one guy that was paying them,
Yeah. So now it's just Fritz. Got it. So he's the only one left.
I still run the paint scheme, here and there, but we're running low on some funds.
Gotcha. Well, pretty nice to see that 6 car in there tonight, even if it's not the regular driver, man. Shout outs and thank yous for this wonderful job tonight.
Yeah, like I said, I want to thank Checker Flag Motorsports and Ricky Bobby Foundation and Cody for letting me run his ride. And we were trying to help David and Booth and Hunt tonight, so it was fun racing with them. Thank KR for broadcasting and you up there as a sidekick, I guess. And OP Racing, baby.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks so much. Great job tonight, and go enjoy the victories without any alcohol. Go get some Starry or whatever the new Sierra Mist is. I hear that one's the new hit with the kids.
Sun Drop.
I was gonna see if I could get a new sponsorship from maybe next year, maybe Aquafina or something,
Ooh.
some water.
That'd be pretty nice. All right, man. We look forward to seeing it. We know that 6 driver, the normal driver, put some pretty good schemes together there. Great job on the win, man, and we'll see you in the playoffs next week.
Thanks, Peter.
All right, there you have it. Vicente Guerrero, our race winner. Peter, I have no idea who finished second.
Let's just go by the standings there. Go by the 47, then the 21.
Oh, the 47. All right. I literally got lost, so I'm sorry. You're gonna.
Luckily,
have to
iRacing, the client has a results page you can click on.
Well,
and it'll tell you the finishing order of the drivers. So I know it's a neat feature. I'll figure out the button. I'll try. Let me share my screen. I can show you where the results button is on the iRacing client.
Richard Coon's not here, so let's move on to Daniel Holloway, 3rd place. All right, here we go. Daniel Holloway in 3rd place. Peter, go ahead and take it away.
Dan, you got a copy, buddy?
I do.
All right, so this is exactly how you drew up your podium finish, right? Exactly how you thought that last lap was going to go, exactly how you thought the standings were going to shake out. You felt that was pretty normal race ending, right?
Yeah, but I just needed to cross that white flag there, and I had so much momentum, and I wish we just had 200 more feet, and I had so much run in there, and I think I would have took that win.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it looked like the case there, especially after Eric got into the wall trying to avoid the 7 after he ran out of gas. Man, you had quite an up and down race. Saw you near the front, saw you in the middle and the back there. You seem to be always kind of near the action. And I'm not just saying that because there were 2 of those Reese's cars out there. I wasn't, I was definitely paying attention to the numbers that were on top of those things too, man. But man, talk us through your race, because the ARCA car at 08 always just seems like it brings way more carnage than some of our other combinations here. And here you survived it again, and now you got a podium.
Yeah, with these cars, you can barely bump and everything, so you got to be pretty easy, touchy. But if you get the run, it was more momentum than pushing somebody. And early in the race, I saw Gabe by himself in the 3rd line and just started passing us. And so I thought right there towards the end when I was behind Josh to go 3 wide with 5 to go and just no momentum, but I'm glad to have 3rd good ending for the season, and now the old famous words from the New York Giants head coach is playoffs.
Yeah, man. Well, you're there. You've got your ticket punched. You're on a high. Worked out 2 really good 08 races here in a row for you. I know Monday might not have gotten the finish you wanted, but you got a bunch of stage points there and to put yourself in a Monday playoff position for the most part. Still a couple races to go. What are your thoughts here? What do you think Jeff Crosby Jr. is thinking? Because he's our regular season champion. He gets to choose the car. If you had to influence him a little bit there, what car do you think he would choose for us to drive in the first round?
The Cadillacs.
It can't be any worse than this thing, so why not?
Oh, the Cadillacs are great. I love driving
Yeah,
those things.
I love the Cadillacs. Those Momentos. Now, well, so 3, it really doesn't matter. So, Xfinity trucks and 09s, I'll race what I can, what he picks, and is it the track he picked too, or just the car?
No, it's just the car.
Just the car. Should we do a little dirt bikes, rally crosses? I'll be racing those too. Whatever he picks.
I'm scared of this car, man, especially after the way this race ended. I kind of don't want to put my playoff hopes in trusting in the guy who's allegedly supposed to be pushing me. So this one definitely scares me, but everyone seemed to have an issue at some point tonight. I don't think anyone got out of here clean. So
well, you add 09 to a bumpy track and drafting as far as pushing somebody. That's one heck of a combo.
Yep, but it's survival of the fittest here, and look at all the guys who are up in the top. What is this? 8 of the top 10 spots, or 7 of the top 10 spots are playoff drivers. So maybe that's exactly the point. Maybe this is the car that's so difficult to drive that only the playoff drivers survive with it, man. Well,
yeah, and I do want to throw in there, as the track temp tonight was like around 115, so you add slick to that. Yeah, that makes it interesting.
Yes. Well, surviving was exactly what you did tonight, man. Congrats on the P3, and we'll see you in the playoffs next week with a brand new spoiler on your car, looking all good.
Oh yeah, can't wait. It's been a while for Wednesday nights, so my mindset going for it. So let's see how far I can go.
All right, man. Sounds good. Thanks so much.
Take care, guys. Have a good night.
All right, there you have it, Peter.
I was going to bring in Eric here for P4 to talk us through how that last lap, and here he is. I'm going to drag him in here anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, because he's always a really electric interview. I don't know if you've ever interviewed Eric or you remember how that goes in here, KR, but he is.
I do remember he won a
just lets it
championship
fly.
one time.
Yeah, right? He is just, it's so hard to get him to stop talking sometimes. Eric Luke,
really?
Holy crap, dude. Talk us through the last 5 laps of that race.
Well, I was happy to get my lap back underneath that screw up going into the pits there. I got caught speeding. But the last 5 laps, I was just hoping I could get a little bit closer to the front without no trouble. We have all these cautions going on. And I guess the last one there, I was lucky to miss all the crashes and follow the 2 that was in front of me, and they crashed and realized, oh, shit, I'm in the lead. Great. All they got to do is finish, And then I shut the car off because I had 1/10 of gas left, and I didn't want to screw that up to make it to the line. And I couldn't get the car started.
Well, you got it eventually started, got home P4, which is huge for those playoff points there at the end. I know you were lined up right next to Senior on that last restart. You guys were just a couple of points off because he had some stage points that you didn't. My God, man, that must have been such a roller coaster of emotions, though. But, man, defending series champion back in the playoffs. It's a nice, fresh reset. Next week, we'll all be tied in points again. We're still waiting to hear what Jeff Crosby Jr. decides to pick for the vehicle. What are you hoping he picks? He gets to pick between the truck, the Xfinity, or this car. What car do you want to drive in round 1?
I think the trucks would be fun.
Is that just the personal preference, the most experience? Is it the zaniest? Why the trucks?
The trucks are fun to drive. Depends on what track he takes, though.
Oh, well, you don't get to pick the track. Those are already decided for us. It's
okay.
the whole first round. We got 3 races to do it. Let me find it here. I think it's the other 3 races besides this one, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. We got the next 3 races are at iRacing Super Speedway, regular Daytona, and Talladega.
Okay. Yeah.
You take the truck there?
Yeah, I take the trucks at iRacing. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, the trucks at iRacing Super Speedway, I think, are the best option that we have there. I think it's just the right speed combination, and pit entry is good, but it's not too slow like the ARCA car is at times. The ARCA car, it seems like you get a wave around there. You can't even catch the pack before they go green. So we'll see how that goes next week for the SM and SMJ turn left 70 lap iRacing Super Speedway shootout. I think that's 210 miles. So Eric, I'm so glad you were able to get that finish there. Man, it would have been really cool to get the dub, but we'll see you with the brand new spoiler on that car next week. Looking good in playoff mode, buddy.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks, KR.
Well, you're welcome.
He's not paying
Eric.
any attention. That's Eric Laurie, driver of the 071 John Deere Chevrolet. KR, any final thoughts of this race before we sign off this evening?
I got to tell you, this was everything that OP is known for. Tough competition, coming down to the last minute, last second, last lap. And now our playoff field is set. But I can't do the math fast enough to know who our 16 drivers are.
I can.
All right, do it.
I would say we've already talked to one of them. We talked to Eric Laurie, the 071. We have the 27 of Sean Stevens, the 9 of Nate Warren, the 47 of Richard Kuhn, the 44 of Anthony English, the 88 of Gabe Butler, the 6 of Cody Neagles, the 51 of Travis Elliott, the 19 of Zach Workman, the 14 probably of Vicente Guerrero. Not sure if he's going to run the 6 next week or the 46 or whatever they're doing. The 04 of Mark Mann, the 21 of Daniel Holloway, the 40 of Peter deBorja, the 62 of Les Levy, the 12 of Zach Fritsch, and your regular season champion, the 33 of Jeffrey Crosby Jr. 16 drivers going to have purple spoilers in their cars next week, or trucks, or whatever we decide at iRacing Super Speedway, a place where things can always be unpredictable, and they always seem to be that way. So going to be crazy to watch that next week. 16 drivers. Hope we have a huge turnout still. I know a lot of guys here might be a little bummed that their playoff hopes are dashed, but that's a very diverse field. A lot of teams getting represented here. I bet we still have a giant field of a lot of guys who even aren't in the playoffs showing up just to help out their friends.
That they are. And Peter, I'll tell you what, you're getting ready to go for that championship crown. So, man, I appreciate you joining me here tonight, and I look forward to seeing you win this thing if you can pull it off.
Well, that's never really ever been in the cards, but we'll give it our best shot. We've lost a lot of momentum lately. My driving on Monday hasn't been that great. My driving on Saturdays have been way worse than great. And I just needed to take a break on Wednesdays and just kind of see things from the up top here in the booth. And I'm excited to get back to driving multiple nights again, but man, is it stressful. Playoff time is just a completely different beast. It's just every single inch matters, every tiny little position, every stage point, every lap led, every pit entry and exit. Everything is just amplified so much. And on top of that, you realize that there's only 2 races left in the regular season on Monday and just 2 races left in the regular season on Saturday. And you get that stress 3 nights a week. So don't forget to tune into Max Speed TV this Saturday, as well as Turn 3 Motorsports next Monday to see some more OP racing before we fire off our Wednesday night playoffs. Same time, same place, right here next week, guys.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.